Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for sticking around for today's video. I'm super excited to be back. I know that I have not been doing anything with the channel for a while. I do have another channel where I do some budgeting and other things, and I have an Etsy shop. But I wanted to get back to gardening, which I never really left. I actually was already gardening still, but I was not recording. If you don't know, and maybe you just started YouTube or you've been doing YouTube, you know that it takes a lot when you have a YouTube channel. But needless to say, I am back. And as I mentioned in the introduction, in today's video, I'm going to go over getting your garden started in 2026. You will see me look down a little bit. I have some notes. I have some things here on the table. I am going to put up here in the corner a picture-in-picture so that you can see some of the things that I'm talking about from an overhead view. So without further ado, guys, let's get started. So as you know, I am in Liberty Hill, Texas, Zone 8B. My name is Bridget, and I love gardening. I love everything about gardening, from growing the food you eat, knowing where it comes from, and then the reward of getting that harvest when you know that you grew whatever it is you're eating for yourself. You didn't have anyone to, grow that for you, not knowing what was in it, not knowing how it was grown and where, all the things that we deal with. Additionally, I think that we are in some times now where people want to know more of where their food comes from and how it's grown, in addition to the cost of everything being so high. The reality is that with gardening, you may not totally save thousands upon thousands of dollars and become a millionaire. But with that being said, you can cut a few costs here and there on things that you eat regularly, that you buy from the store, and they will be better quality. So it's 2026, it's in January. A lot of people are still experiencing winter, and some people may think, hey, what could I grow right now? It's cold. It may be snowing where you are. Here in Texas, I am wearing a jacket right now because it is a little bit cool, but we've had temperatures in the 80s in January, like low 80. High 70. So we have a season where we can pretty much almost grow year round. But that does not mean, even if you are in an area where you have winter, where you have snow, which for us here in Texas, we're just getting to the cold part of winter, you can grow indoors. Maybe you have a grow tent, or, and I will add that to the video, I purchased a little inexpensive greenhouse from Tractor Supply in my area. I waited until it was on sale, and I think I paid like $10 for it. So I am going to start some seeds for the spring, because we get so hot in Texas, in the garage, in that little greenhouse. But we'll come back to that. So what you will see in the corner is that I have on video some things sitting here on the other side, and they will be moved around and whatnot as you see them in the corner when I'm talking about them. But let's go ahead and get started. So you want to start a garden, and you're not sure where to start because you haven't really gardened before. So the one thing that I normally suggest to people that are new to gardening is this book right here. It's called The All New Square Foot Gardening, 3rd edition, fully updated, by Mel Bartholomew. And you'll see it here. And then I also have it on the overhead. So with that being said, Square Foot Gardening is an amazing book. This is how I started gardening, and I've been gardening now at least 8 years or more. This book is amazing. It literally tells you from the author's words how to start gardening and how amazing it is, and the different ways that you can garden, whether you have a small space or a large space. This book is great. You can get it from a library, or you can purchase it. This is my second one. I think I gave one away or misplaced it, but it literally has everything in here, from how to lay out your garden to how you can harvest in a 4x4 space, things like that. And planting your garden, mixing your soil, all those things are in here. How much to grow per person in your house, laying out the garden, building the square foot garden boxes, extras like trellises and things like that. So, and let me fix this, you guys, because I think my light is a little bright right here. Okay, I think that's better. So, but This book is a great book. Again, you can get it at the library. It is Square Foot Gardening, third edition, by Mel Bartholomew. Great book for you to start with if you're a gardener. It has some good information in this book for those of you starting out. I cannot tell you how much it costs. Oh, yes, I can. At the time I purchased it, it was $24.99. I'm pretty sure I got this from Barnes & Noble. That's where I buy a lot of my books from. Now, other books that I would suggest, you don't have to buy these books. Again, you can look for them at the library, or you could very well buy them either through Amazon or Barnes & Noble. It's called Mini Farming Self-Sufficiency on a Quarter of an Acre. Now, I live on an acre lot, so I have a lot of space, and my garden is in the back of my yard. This book on mini farming and self-sufficiency, which I love reading. If you don't know, I also teach at a college level, but I love reading and researching. It talks about saving and selecting and buying seeds. It talks about improving soil, crop rotation, timing. So this is kind of more of an in-depth book on gardening and how you can start a garden on a quarter of an acre, okay? And definitely you could do things as far as gardening that are smaller, because there's a young lady I follow, if I can get that out, that I follow on YouTube. And if I'm correct, it's Becoming a Farm Girl or Be a Farm Girl. I think she lives in like a condo or townhouse, and she has a garden with green stalk garden planters. I have some, and I love them. They're amazing. They're stackable planters that you can grow with, and we'll come back to that when we talk about your garden and what you want to get. But I wanted to make sure that I told you about the books. This one talks about compost, conservation of nutrients, time and yield. It talks about animals and pests. All these things are in this book. Keeping or let me say using like heating mats if you're in a season where it's not warm, covering your garden, all those things are in this book, even down to selling your produce if you chose. So again, this is the mini farming book, Self-Sufficiency on a Quarter of an Acre. And if you look, that book is right here. And again, this book is going to tell you all about farming or having your small homestead on small acreage. The last book that I would suggest, and I apologize, there's stuff all on my table. I had to move to do my videos, but the last book I would suggest is Gardening Know-How, and it is the ultimate gardening book. So it's called Gardening Know-How. This is the ultimate gardening book. The reason I suggest this book is because it too has everything from tools to talking about garden styles. It talks about vegetable gardens, flower gardens, proper planting techniques. It literally goes through, and I want to show you this, the actual types of flowers and gives you descriptions when they grow. It does the same thing with vegetables. And it literally tells you what vegetables grow when, what environments they grow best in. It talks about soil. I mean, it talks about everything, acidity, the different types of plants and their species. So this is a really, really amazing book. And I love this book. I always go back to it. I have little tabs in it and everything. But as I mentioned, I think this is a great book if you want to get, I guess you could say, in depth into gardening and learning the different species, how to care for them, the times to plant them and whatnot. But it does have everything in this book, again, ranging from fruits and vegetables to flowers, bushes, things like that. There's even stuff in here on cacti and stuff like that. So again, here's the book. And again, it's called Gardening Know-How, The Ultimate Gardening, A Complete Guide to Cultivating the Perfect Garden, from flowers, vegetables, and herbs to succulents, shrubs, and more. So again, really good book. Okay, so those are some books that you could pick up, that you can read if you want to know more about gardening. Other places, because I wanted to touch on that first, other places that you can get information on gardening. Your county agricultural extension in your area. The example I'll give you, The county I live in is Williamson County, and there is a Texas A&M AgriLife extension here. You can go through that site and get some of the same information that you may find in these books. And that information will include things ranging from planting time, soil, different variations of crops that you might want to grow, things like that. And this right here is the best thing ever. I always have this. You see it's laminated. It is an actual Williamson County vegetable planting guide for my area in Zone 8B. Right here. So you can get this as well on that agricultural website, that county extension website. They'll also tell you about becoming a master gardener, finding master gardeners in your area, things like that. So that's why I think that's super important, and I wanted to tell you about that and the different places you can go to online to get information on gardening. That is not to say that YouTube is not an amazing place to get information. It is. YouTube University is one of the best schools in the world, but just be careful what you're taking in. Make sure you're looking at some reputable sources. And that doesn't mean that people that I didn't mention aren't reputable sources. I'm just saying, make sure that you're not, looking at someone that may be very new to this or may not be giving completely accurate information, however you want to look at it. But those are the best places and best sources for information that I think that I use to get you going with your garden. So you're going to ask next, why would I want to start a garden now? Number one, as I mentioned in the introduction or the previous portion of this video, things are very expensive. They're very expensive. They're consistently getting recalled for whatever reasons, whether it's bacteria, whether there's metal in it, plastic in it, things like that. When you grow your own food, you know where it comes from. You know what was put in it to make it grow. You can have an organic garden you can have an organic garden if you choose. You can be not organic and just use whatever you want in that garden, whether it be you're having to use pesticides for pest pressure or things like that. But it's totally up to you, which is one reason to start your own garden now. Another reason is being able to walk out of your door and harvest your own food, things that you love, things that you enjoy eating. Okay? So that is why I say these are amazing reasons to start your garden now. It's never too late. I garden in winter and summer as best I can here in Texas. If you're not aware, in Texas, we get really, really hot, so it can become challenging to garden in the summertime. So that's why I start early at certain periods of time to get my garden prepared for the spring or the summer. That way I can harvest a lot and just store that. Something that I will be talking about on the channel also is going to be canning and preserving your food, but that's going to come later. So the earlier that you start gardening, the better, because that way you'll have a better opportunity to harvest and possibly have a different or a second round of garden to grow and harvest for your family and yourself. So the next thing you probably ask is, where do I get this stuff from and how much does it cost? Okay, so there are a lot of things that you may think you need in your garden and you don't, guys. You do not have to spend all the money on all the pretty things that you think you may need in gardening. If you would like to build your own garden boxes, when we talk about tools, your garden beds, you can do that. That's how I started out with that book I mentioned, the Square Foot Gardening book right here. You can actually build your own wood garden bed. I've used picket fences. I've used cedar. I've used tons of things. The one thing to know about wooden garden beds is that they will eventually over time rot and you'll have to replace them or rebuild them. So with that being said, if that's the route you want to take, look at your home building store like Lowe's or Home Depot, see what the cost is for wood, which wood can be expensive right now. They have different things ranging from just you getting nails and or screws and building that 4x4 garden bed. Or what I have seen is they have these little square bricks that have slits in them on each side of the square, each single side. And what you do is you take a certain size of wood and you slide it into that slit in the brick, and you do that all the way around, and it makes a garden of whatever size, whether it be 4x4, whatever the case may be. So decide what type of garden you want. Do you want to build it yourself? Do you want to purchase it? What's your budget? And so on. Another type of garden bed you could buy is a raised bed, which would be what the wood is, but there are different raised beds because you can have a raised bed that's on wheels that stands tall enough for you not have to bend over. You can also have a raised bed that is a certain number of inches from the ground through companies like Vago Garden. They have, I think there's one called, it starts with a V as well, but it's not Vago Garden. It's Vagaga or Vago or something like that. But they all have metal raised beds. You can even go online to Amazon and find raised beds. I bought a few round ones, and there is a video on my channel showing that were super inexpensive. I think it was like $20 or less. And it's an amazing raised bed. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not name brand. So again, what I say to you is decide what your budget looks like and what type of garden you want. One that you can build yourself, but may not last for years and years and years. It may last a while, but eventually you'll have to replace it. Would you like to do metal raised beds? And basically that's going to last you for some years. Or another style of garden you could do is what they call a no-dig garden, where basically you're using the soil, building it up above the ground, and basically planting your seeds and growing your garden in that soil that you've built up above the ground. I will try to put some information somewhere if I find it to kind of give you an idea on how that works. But the books that I've mentioned to you, as well as YouTube, can give you some ideas on what that no-dig garden looks like. So that's the first thing you want to do. Decide how you want to build your garden, in addition to how much do you want to grow. Because once you know definitely how much you want to grow, then you'll know how big your garden needs to be or what you need. Now, another style of garden that I did mention somewhat is green stalk garden planters. They are amazing. They last forever. I've had mine for years. They are a little bit expensive in the beginning. However, if you wait for them for one of their sales like Mother's Day, they do end of year sale, they do a spring sale, you can possibly get one for an inexpensive price. I'm hoping to grow this channel enough where maybe I can be an affiliate or something like that and get some of those so I can show more of them to you. So Greenstalk, if you're listening, I would love to get some of your products, which I already have that I've purchased, to, show people what they can do. But as I mentioned, I think it's Becoming a Farm Girl or Be a Farm Girl. Her channel, she's really good about showing you the green stalk planters and showing you how she's using them. And when I say she grows everything that you can grow in a raised garden bed or 4x4 garden bed, she grows everything. And she preserves it. She does all the things. And you can check her channel out. I'll try to put her below in the description. But she's amazing. And I watched her prior to purchasing my first green stalk. But these planters are really, really well worth it. Once you spend that money once, you don't have to spend it for a while unless you're like me buying other products. But make that decision of how much you want to grow, what you want to grow, and then you can move to, what type of garden do I want? Do I want stackable planters? Do I want a 4x4? Do I want raised beds in oval shapes, square shapes? You can find raised garden beds, whether metal or making your own. You can find the tools and supplies you need pretty much everywhere. So that is definitely something that you want to do. And I'm just checking my notes out. So as it relates to tools, things like gloves, little garden shovels, what they call hori-hori knives, the pruners, things like that are some other tools that you may want to get. I do have another video for Dollar Tree that shows the Dollar Tree spring garden area that they put up in the store that's already up. I'll also try to include that below. But gloves like these, you guys, right here, that you can get from Dollar Tree. These were, I think, $1.50. I bought 4 pairs of them. The reason I like these gloves, you have some texture here so that it grips things. They're not waterproof, but, water doesn't penetrate them as easily unless you, get water on this side. But this underside right here that you're seeing, this one, it's not going to take on water that well. But these are $1.50 each if you need gloves. Now, These are also gloves that I found at Dollar Tree last year, right here. As you can see, these are cloth with these little ridges on here. So you've got these little ridges right here that are kind of textured so that you can grasp or grip things. They were also $1.50. So you have 2 sets of gloves. You can get these from Dollar Tree, okay? Now, other things, and let me reach over here, that you can get from Dollar Tree include these little pots. Now, with that being said, some people look at the plastic and all the things. I've had these a while because I'm gonna show you some other things that I have purchased from other places. But starting out, if your budget is small and you just want to start, you can get the cups or pots like this, the little plastic ones, to start your seedlings if that's what you're going to want to do. So you can have these right here. You can use regular red Solo cups. You can use styrofoam cups. It's totally up to you. If your budget is small, get what you can afford. Do not try to go and buy all the things. I don't buy all the things. And one of my goals this year is to make sure that I'm only purchasing what I need. Okay, so no, you can get these from Dollar Tree. You can use Solo cups. You can use tons of other things that you don't necessarily have to spend a bunch of money on. Now, another thing that I do that references that, these are the little seedling cups from previous seedlings that I've purchased, okay? And I keep them and wash them. These aren't washed. I need to wash them. They actually do deteriorate over time, but I didn't pay for them. So let's say I start some seedlings and I need to up pot them. Guess what I'm going to pull out? These right here, because they'll be clean. They were not free, but close to free, because I bought them, whether it was from H-E-B, which is in our area, Lowe's, or Home Depot, when I bought some other seedlings at another time. I have tons of them. I always keep them because they can be reused, okay? So there's that. Another thing you are going to want to buy are your little plant labels or sticks. Now, I bought these from a local garden center near me, and I think these were 15 or 10 cents each. These are plastic. The reason I bought them is because I have used popsicle sticks before, and you can do the same thing. You don't have to buy these. You can get packages of popsicle sticks and mark them to show what you're growing. Please do that, because I have a habit of not doing that all the time. And what happens is I don't know what I'm growing. I have to wait until it grows for me to see it. But just know you can get these labels or plant sticks, whatever they call them, or popsicle sticks. You can use tons of things to label what you are growing, okay? So don't think again that you have to buy the expensive stuff. These were 10 cents each. I got them because I'm tired of buying them. I have some and I've run out of popsicle sticks. So let me get these out because I want to show you some other stuff. Now, please no one take offense. I don't know if that's what this is called. Yep, that's what it's called. So when I went to my local, I'm sorry y'all, something is wasting here. I know what it is, it's neem oil. But when I went to my local garden center, I was talking about, as I purchased these plant labels, seedling labels for my plants, that the, y'all give me a second because it's, the neem oil is in here. Okay, y'all, and we'll talk about neem oil in a minute. I'll tell you why I have that. But it's spilled because I had it in a container and basically it spilled over, okay? So at any rate, I wanted a pencil that does not come off of the sticks, because no matter what I tried, Sharpies and everything, it eventually fades off. And the ladies at my garden center said, oh, you need a China marker. And that was why I was just saying I didn't want anybody to be offended. I don't know if that's what they call them, because that's what she called it, but it is called a China marker. It's from Sharpie right here, and it says China marker on it, if you could see that. So it's called a China marker, and she said it does not come off, at least not the way that other things come off when you're using them, like Sharpies, actual Sharpie markers and stuff. how that comes off on these sticks. You can wipe it off afterwards, and she said it comes off easily. So I'm gonna try it out. It's called a China marker, and it's pretty interesting because if you look, there's a string here, and you peel it off. There's a little string, so I guess it peels off and up. I'm gonna look it up some more, but I wanted to share this in particular because I hope it works. So, but we'll see. So again, in reference to the cost, it depends on your budget. Do not try to enlarge or increase your budget because people are saying they bought this or that. Buy what's in your budget. And I'll be honest with you, everyone, I buy a lot of things when they're on sale, okay? I don't buy things just like random, willy-nilly. Maybe every now and then I do, but I don't do that intentionally, and I try to use what I have. You do not have to go broke to start gardening, and that's one thing I want to emphasize. Just as I had mentioned, costs are going up and things like that. So we talked about where to get information. And we talked about costs. You can go to Dollar Tree. You can look at Vigo Garden. They have different stuff. You can check out Tractor Supply if there's one near you. There's a site called Bootstrap Farmer. I'll try to put that below. They didn't pay me or anything. Epic Gardening is a channel I watch. They also sell different items. And then you have Greenstock Garden, and they have different things. So like I said, there are tons of places to look to get your tools, get different information, watch their videos, and learn everything you can about gardening, including getting some of the books that I mentioned, or other books, whether from your library or if you're purchasing them. Another tool, real quick, as we close out on the tools that I think everyone should have, and this is an easy tool. You do not have to get this from me, but I'll put it in the description below. I do sell them. You can print them yourself, or I can print the book for you. It's going to be this gardening book. It says My Garden Planner. It's a garden planner is what it is. The reason I suggest this, because if you're a new gardener, if you're just like me and you've been gardening for a while, I try to keep up with everything from my seed inventory to what I'm growing, to when I'm watering, to pest control, to my garden layout. And in this garden book, you have all of these things. You can put your name in here, right here. You can put your inventory of fertilizers and seeds right here. So you can see that. My seed inventory is pretty big. I just did that today, figuring out that, I have a lot of seeds, and I think this is about 42 to 45 pages in here. They have a harvest tracker. They have a garden wish list in here, pest control, so what you're using on your garden, and I'll let you know right off the bat. I use neem oil and diatomaceous earth because those are pretty natural. Neem oil is something that people can take themselves. A lot of people don't know that, but you just need to make sure it's cold pressed, because if not, what you're getting in the store is not really, I guess you could say, a strengthened neem oil to kill bugs or pest pressure when you have it. This also has a plant log. It has a garden calendar where you can fill out the calendar with maybe when you should be planting stuff. So again, this garden planner is actually pretty cool. It has to-do lists in it, seasonal tasks, planting logs. All those things are in here. Again, you don't have to buy this from me. You can literally go to the dollar store as well, get a notebook, and in that notebook, you can write down all of your garden information, from what seeds you have, to when you're planting, to what you're putting in your garden, to drawing your garden layout. So again, don't think that you have to spend money. Sometimes for people like me, it's just easier if I buy certain things from someone else, okay? So, sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened to the camera, but it went out. What I was saying is that some people, like myself, tend to purchase things because it's easier as opposed to buying them for myself. And that's what I do sometimes. You don't have to do that. I'll put this in the description. If you're interested in it, great. If not, you can use that composition notebook from Dollar Tree, or any other notebook for that matter, and it's perfectly fine. So the other thing that I want to say about starting your gardening is to make a plan. Hence the reason for me mentioning this garden planner. because if you don't have a plan, it tends to cause confusion. You don't know what you're growing. You're all over the place. You don't know what you did. You don't know what you need to do. And having a plan and using a garden planner or a notebook helps you out. It also helps you in a way that if you garden the following year, the following season, you know what you did or didn't do to make something grow or how it didn't grow, whatever the case may be. So you should definitely have a plan if that's not something you're doing. I didn't used to do that. I just started, getting to the point where I'm going to have a plan. Now, in regard to a plan, as it relates to a plan, I'm actually also going to be doing a garden plan with me, so you can see me plan for my spring 2026 garden. So let me know if you're interested in that, because that's really going to guide me and let me know if I'm going to make that or not in a video, but I think I am. So other things that you may need to pick up are, of course, your seeds, okay? And let me show you something. This is how I store my seeds right here. This is a photo case from Michaels. I think they're on sale now. I heard someone saying they're on sale. I want to say I paid $11 or less for these. And let me show you. It just opens up and you have these cases in it right here. You have these little cases. And this is what I put my seeds in. If you look right here, I have a label for them. I have a label maker. So that way when I go in the case, I can just see what I have and how much I have. In addition to having this garden planner right here, this garden planner has a seed inventory in it. So I know I can just look right here or go in the case. But these are amazing so you can keep up with your seeds and know where they are. Again, they normally put them on sale at Michaels. I want to say they're 20 to maybe 30 bucks. It could be more now. I don't know. I bought this some time ago. I have 2 of them. But you do want to have something like that to store your seeds. Another thing that I do when I use my seeds, I refrigerate them. I put them in a Ziploc bag in the freezer, okay? I went on Amazon and I also bought these seed packets right here. These seed packets have a little Ziploc like seal, okay? I'm not selling these, but it seems, and I apologize, y'all, my nails look the way they do because I'm thinking about this year not having them done as much. But at any rate, this is a seed packet. There were 120 of them for $8 on Amazon. I am going to buy more. In the back, you have a little window right there. And then you have where you can write information on it right here, okay? So these were $8.99. There were 120 of them. They came in this bag right here. Now, I do this because, again, when you open those seed packets, and let me show you one that I had opened. This was some rosemary. It's empty now. But when you open this, it's just open. And I've had them to flip over and the seeds pour out and stuff. It's just open. So that's why I bought those seed packets. And there are tons of others on there. I think they call them coin envelopes or something like that. But just put seed packets and it'll pop up. So I do have those as tools. You don't have to buy that. Just fold it down if you want. And then go ahead, put it in a Ziploc bag, put it in the freezer. It just needs to be in a cool, dark place. That's it. That's all you would do. I bought the packages, like I said, because these, I've had them to like fall out and their seeds all in the Ziploc bag. So that's why I do that. Another thing that you may need is going to be fertilizer. I know that you're looking at this fertilizer and going, what? Espoma is a very good brand fertilizer. A lot of people use it. With Espoma, I think I have, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I think I have about close to 10 or 12 of these. Let me tell you why. Tractor Supply. After the season is over, the original garden season in the spring or whatever you want to call it, they normally have a sale. These were about $9 each, I want to say. I could be wrong. However, I know I paid $3 or $4 each for these. This one, and I'm looking at the back, you mix it at a rate of half a cap or 2 teaspoons per quart of water. And I have this big old bottle, and I just told y'all I have about 10 or 12 of these. So buy some of these things that you may need out of season because they will go on sale. Worm castings, I bought them from there as well on sale. You do not have to spend all the money for all the things, as I said. Buy some of the stuff out of season. In regard to soil, And I'm going to go back a little bit because you may need soil, of course, if you're going to garden. I get my soil from Costco. I have a Costco card. They have. Okay, guys. Super sorry about. Okay, guys. I am sorry about that. We were talking about the neem oil, and I was trying to show you the Harris's neem oil. And if you look, it says 100% cold pressed neem oil. That's what you want when you're buying neem oil. And you can find Castile soap everywhere. You have to mix that with the oil for it to dilute so that you can spray it on your plants if you're dealing with pests, bugs, aphids, all the things that you may deal with when you're growing stuff and have your own garden. So another thing that you may need to get are these trays. These that you get from stores when you buy your plants are normally sitting in trays like this. You can get these at your local garden center, and I'm also going to be doing a video on garden centers, and I'm going to go to my garden center. Some people may want to go there. It can get pricey sometimes, but you know, you can still find some great things. Now, these trays are about $1 or $2 each. This one is solid because I have these, and when I up pot or if I decide to start seedlings in those, they basically fit in here and they hold the water so that when you're watering your different seedlings, they're getting the water they need through the bottom of this right here. But you can also, like I said, get these right here at your local garden center. The next thing I am going to show you is going to be my other seed starting kit, which comes from Greenstalk Garden. These were purchased in a pre-order, and I want to say, please forgive me, I want to say I paid $100 for these. I have 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I might have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because I have 2 more outside in that little greenhouse that I bought. But these are seed starting kits that come with these planters right here. If you look, these planters. And the reason I like these, you have a hole in the bottom to pop out your plant, your seedling, when you're ready to plant it in the garden. You have these slits in the side right here. You have these slits so that it doesn't get root bound. And then the best part of this, y'all, is the tray itself. Let me move these over because I got stuff everywhere. But the tray itself, so this is one part of the tray right here. As you can see, it's got a handle. This is one part of the tray with the handle. It's open right here. The bottom part of the tray, which I said that right, I have 6, I think, or something like that. But this is the bottom, similar to the one I told you you can get from your nursery, so it holds the water, okay? So this is the bottom. So this is all like one set here. This is one set, and then you have 6 of these to go into this one set. So each of these has 6 holes. So you can put 36 seedlings in one of these trays. Now, with that being said, I think I paid $100 or close to it. I may have gotten a discount because I bought these when they first came out with them. And that was why I got that deal. Now, I think they actually cost more, but I love them. They're easy. I clean them out at the end of the season with a little soap and water, rinse them, and dry them out, okay? You don't have to get that. You can do what I told you with the solo cups and maybe buy some of those trays from your local garden center, okay? So I'm hoping this video is helping me. Let me know if you're going to start a garden, if you're interested in starting gardening, and why, down below in the description. So the last thing I'm going to talk about briefly is seeds, y'all. Remember I showed you my little seed trays, okay? I'm sorry, my little seed cases. Y'all, you can get seeds from anywhere. Again, if you're on a budget, there's a place called freeheirloomseeds.org where they sell heirloom seeds. I'll also put that in the description. What they do is accept donations. They're good seeds. They're heirloom seeds. And they keep going by taking donations and selling seeds to people. The minimum or maximum donation they suggest is $20, and they send you 30 different seed packets. You cannot buy more than one type of seed, okay? I ordered some for the first time this year. Always knew about them, never ordered them. But again, you get 30 seed packets for $20. That's almost like $1 a package. In the store, you're going to pay more, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So this is one of my seed cases right here. There are different seeds in here. This is tomatoes. Here are some Roma tomatoes from Burpee right here. And if you look at the price on this, it's $2.49 for this one package. Then here are some seeds from American Seed Company. All these seeds are fine, okay? The heirloom, free heirloom seeds, we're gonna see how they come to me. I'll maybe do a video unboxing, but these are American Seed. You could get them from Dollar Tree. That's where I got these from. They were $3 for $1.50. Now, with that being said, I bought from them before and they used to be less. They have gone up. They used to be $4 for $1.25. Those American Seed, they are now $3 for $1.50. I have some tomato seeds from M.I. Gardener right here. M.I. Gardener. Great seeds. They have a channel as well. I'm going to tell you, I don't remember what I paid. I want to say it's maybe $3 and some change, and there are 25 seeds in there. Here's another American Seed one right here. Then you have Botanical Interest. You can find them online and in a lot of your garden centers, okay? Botanical Interest right here. This is for San Marzano tomatoes, which I love. And there's 25 seeds in here for $2.69, okay? So that's those. Here's another Botanical Interest Black Creme tomatoes, which I'll be growing this year. Now, the reason that Botanical Interest, I can say, is probably a little different. Okay, guys, let's start again with seeds. I have my seed case. You can get seeds from anywhere. The best seeds that I know of are the ones that grow for you, okay? So you're looking at my seeds. Here's a Burpee tomato seed packet. It is $2.49. This is probably an older one. These are anywhere from $2.50 and upwards. You have American Seed Company, which you will find in, I think, Walmart, which I don't shop there much anymore for my personal reasons, but you can find them at Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree has them. They are now $3 for $1.25. Okay, you guys, so this is the greenhouse that I told you about, and I got it on clearance for about $10 to $11 right here. This is what I'm using indoor in my garage. You can see the door to start my spring seedlings because it will be warmer in my garage. And as you can see, I have a metal shelf right here. And I'm sorry it's so bright because let me try to do that better. So you can see my metal shelf right here. And then you can see I have metal shelves here with light. And what I did on this side is I went ahead and just use it like for storage. I know it's kind of dark in there, but that's because my garage light. Let me try to turn it on. Okay, that should have given a little more light. But you can see I have storage right here on these 3 shelves. And then there's another shelf available right here. And then I have these 3 shelves. I have these 3 shelves right here. I have some supplies here, which I may move these up so that I can use this one because I have a separate light. But the whole point is I can close this up. It can be warm in here and whatnot. It's not something I would use in the summer because it gets too hot in here and because of the Texas heat. But I just wanted to make sure I show this to you to let you know that this is something that you can do. Hey everybody, this is an alternate ending to the video. I know you're like, where is she? Why is she in her bedroom in different clothes? Because I was editing this video and I had so many issues with the dual cameras. I'm working on my camera setup for this year, but I just wanted to ask you to please like and subscribe to my channel as I continue to grow the channel. I hope you got some good information from the video and I hope it helped you in some way. I will be sure to try and leave information in the description of the video for many of the products and companies that I was speaking of. And again, I ask that you like and subscribe to my channel and I'll be doing better. We'll see some videos from me more in the garden and more of information on helping you to grow your own food and be sustainable. So keep growing what you eat and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.